All right, so we're officially recording, and you're already digging into the hot dog. Oh my god, that's
Mm,
incredible!
mm,
All right, so I'm here with Cool
mm,
Beans.
mm.
Cool Beans, thank you for hopping on with me, man. I really appreciate it. For anybody who doesn't know, Cool Beans won season one of Dog, and it's really not hard to understand why. I mean, he's out here chowing down right now as we speak on a hot dog. So I just want to dive right into it. How did you manage to eat over 100 hot dogs in season one of Dog?
I want to say that it was determination and maybe like a little bit of delusion, but the secret weapon is ADHD. Because if you have ADHD, you can hyper focus on a food and eat it like every day, and you will never get bored of it as long as you provide yourself with just enough variety and you actually like the food. So I will say, like, it's my ADHD is my secret weapon. But at the same
Yeah.
time, like, you just do the math. 3 hot dogs a day, every day for a month is 90 hot dogs. It's not that hard, people. It's math, okay? It's
Oh
math,
my god.
just
Yeah.
check them
Hey,
off brick by
but
brick.
I love that answer. You weaponized your ADHD. For anybody who is maybe unfamiliar with what the heck that we're talking about right now, I'm gonna share my screen so they can see just a quick little like sneak peek into Dog. Dog was a hot dog eating competition that took place on the internet in summer of 2024. And you can see here, this is Cool Beans. It says 97, but I know that you've logged more. Probably a little technical glitch there, but the feed is just full of pictures of you chowing down on a hot dog. And you did this, like you said, basically every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. Most of the time it was multiple times a day. So I have to know, all right, days where you wake up and you just don't feel like eating a hot dog, how do you power through?
I could go with the easy answer of like there are no days that I wake up and don't feel like eating a hot dog because this all beef hot dog right now is so delicious. It's so delicious. But I'm gonna have to go down deep here, down a level of deepness that you didn't think existed with hot dogs.
Take me through
But
it.
when I was but a wee apprentice in my field in San Francisco, mind you, the guy who trained me uh, was this old Chinese dude who was raised by these Irish people, and he had an obsession with hot dogs. And so my entire like first 10 years of my career, when this guy was like mentoring me hardcore, we were literally eating hot dogs all of the time. And weird U-turn, he ended up me and that dude the day before he passed away, unfortunately, we got hot dogs. And
Wow.
and it was at our favorite deli that was like right by where we both lived. So for me, there's this personal reason of like, my buddy died. He was a hot dog dude. Made me a hot dog dude. So,
Wow.
there's a personal meaning with all of these hot dogs, right? Every hot dog is a hot dog for my homie who passed. So,
Wow.
you
I
know.
had no idea it ran that deep. That's a touching story.
Yeah, yeah. It makes me
That
sad right now, actually.
Hey,
Sorry.
yeah, no, I know. No, people want to know how you found the motivation, and I think that's a great story. It's one I wasn't expecting. I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh,
It's great you were able to channel that into something that brought joy to a lot of other people
I
last
say you
last
just
season.
remember the good times, right? So,
Absolutely, absolutely. And it sounds like so you've been kind of almost like training for this moment too. It sounds like you've had some experience eating some hot dogs in the past.
yeah.
So why don't we talk a little bit about just like yourself, like who are you, what do you do, like, and for the people who are watching, like we've never met before, but I feel like I almost know you in a way because I looked at your picture 3 times a day for a couple of months straight. But tell the people, like, who are you, what do you do, who is Cool Beans?
Um, Another complex question. I'm a guy whose only goal is to live intentionally, and that's what I do. I
All
mean, what do
right.
I do? I'm eating hot dogs in the middle of the desert right now at 2:30 on what is it, a Monday? I don't even know what day of the week it is, bro. What do I do?
Hey man,
Man,
good for
I'm
you.
chilling, bro. I'm chilling. That's what I do.
I love that. I love that. Good for
I
you. Well,
mean,
and that's fierce. That's fierce competition for anybody who's trying to play because it's like it's almost like you live for this. That's great.
yeah, yeah, in a way. When you got
Yeah,
nothing else to do, man,
that's
just
great.
just drown your loneliness in wieners.
Oh my
Just
God. All
yeah,
right.
I'll eat enough wieners to forget.
All right. Well, I've got a couple of other questions here for you. So, number one is this is a really hot topic, I think, in the hot dog community, and everybody wants to know the answer to it. So, just talk me through your stance on this. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is a hot dog a sandwich? It is a sandwich and it isn't a sandwich, right? It's like both things at the same time. It's like the Schrodinger's cat of sandwiches. Like culturally, the hot dog is its own thing, right? You can't say that you're not going to go to a deli and expect them to make banging hot dogs, even though they make great sandwiches, right? But at the same time, it is meat between bread. And so I think spiritually it's a sandwich, but culturally it's its own jam. And let's be honest, the only difference between this being a hot dog bun and a bread is just me like ripping it off into two pieces. And now my hot dog is officially a sandwich, right? So it's that 1/8 inch of bread that's holding it back. You know what I mean? I think from being
I, lo-
considered a full sandwich.
I
So
love the supernatural answer there. Almost like quantum physics. It is and it isn't at the same time.
it is
Incredible.
though. It's like
Incredible.
it's both. Why can't it
Love
be
it.
both?
You know what? That's the question we should be asking. Why can't it be both? All right, so let's dive into some other maybe hot topics in the hot dog world, and let's talk a little bit about Joey Chestnut. So Joey Chestnut has been like the reigning champion of the Nathan's hot dog eating competition. You are the Joey Chestnut of on-chain hot dog eating competitions. No one comes close to beating you, right? The chart, you're literally off the charts. Um, and so Joey was banned from competitions due to some sponsorship deals last year. So just wanted to maybe give you a platform to talk to your peer, Joey Chestnut. What's your message to Joey?
Joey, why don't you just come here and log some dogs with us? We got no buns, but we got lots of buddies. And we've got no fancy sponsorship contracts, but we've got community. And so what more do you really need? We've got good homies like Mike over here programming. And I mean, I don't know what else to say, Joey. Just come on and join us, log some dogs, have a good time. There's, and you
Love
don't
it.
have to eat them all at once. You could actually enjoy them this time, right? I think that's the other secret. It's like, it's not about eating 100 hot dogs in 1 minute. It's about enjoying 100 hot dogs over a season.
Love that. Exactly. Because if he's like the Usain Bolt of hot dog eating, where he has to do it all at once and do it super quick and sprint through it, then you're like the Forrest Gump, man.
Yeah.
You've done it long term, right? Running
Yeah.
across the
Oh, I'm
country type
definitely
marathon.
like Forrest Gump in so many ways. Yeah, for sure. Yes, in more ways than you even know. I'm Forrest Gumping it up. I love that. Yes.
Oh, I could just see you doing the wave right now, the Forrest Gump wave. Uh, okay, well then, right after the competition ended, right, I saw you kind of pivoted to maybe this is another thing with the ADHD, and you started hyper focusing on something else, but you channeled it in a really positive way. And I saw you picking up trash in your community, vlogging about it last summer. What was that all about? Like, what happened? Can you tell me the story behind that?
The story is that people dump their trash in the forest, and that is bad. And my commute was the forest because I lived in the forest for like the last 4 years. Now I'm in the middle of the desert, as you can see behind me. There's no such thing as trees here. But there was just, it was mind boggling. Try not to make any political comments these days, but there's just trash. And this is what I would tell people: go to your local forest. And I'm not talking about like if you're in San Francisco or something, go to Golden Gate Park and see how dirty it is. They got people that get paid to clean that up 24 hours a day. Go to and not go to Yosemite. Go to like a real park where you don't get a ton of visitors, and go explore how much trash there is laying around and how understaffed the Forest Service is in general. And me as a human being who wants to live intentionally. Part of that, in my opinion, is what's called, I know we're going way off track here from hot dogs, but it's called dual power, which means that we as individuals don't necessarily have to like wait for other people to do things like the government come and clean it up. We could just go and do it ourselves because we can, just like we can eat 100 hot dogs because we can. Like America, we have the freedom to go do whatever we want to do. And if that means picking up some trash so that every day I'm driving 3 miles down a dirt road, I don't have to look at like beer bottles and trash and whatever else people decided they didn't want to like haul 10 miles to the garbage dump, like then why wouldn't I? Right? Like take 10 minutes out of your day, go do something, and you can make a big difference, hopefully. I don't think the one thing that I realized there was that I didn't get enough reach because first of all, I'm in a small town of like 200 people. So who do you think's the ones dumping the trash on the side of the mountain? They're not driving in from the big city to go dump their trash in the forest. A lot of it happened to be probably people in the community, which makes it a problem because how do you approach that? You're trying to point it out and they're just yelling at you for, being actually caring. So that was it. I mean, now I live in the desert, so.
Okay, so you moved from the forest to the desert, but another inspirational background story behind these vlogs that I didn't know before, and I love the message. You could just do things, right? Like you see something, you could just do things. So go out there and make it happen. Don't wait around for somebody else to do it. Inspiration.
Isn't that the like base theme, like the theme of base and in general like Farcaster and Warpcast? I don't know where this is going to be seen, but like, it's just that you could just go out and build a mini app if you want to, right? And you don't even need to know how to. Now you can just vibe code it on AI, right? And like, if you want to be like me and take your tips and plant some trees, like people like that. You could just go do it. And we were doing, I don't know if you noticed the flows funding where we were doing small grants to people every month. And like, so people were out like feeding homeless people, donating to food banks and animal shelters. So, I mean, in general, I think that's the whole, I'm totally with you. Dual power, you could do whatever you want. It's what it's all about. Freedom.
Yeah, totally.
That's the freedom that people want to.
Yeah, you're right about that. And that's what drove me to more of like the on-chain technology world and these like permissionless systems. But basically what that means is like anybody can build on top of the protocols and build whatever they want or do whatever they want. And so the microfunding you were talking about, was that through Verbs?
Yeah, it was both through Verbs and another program called Flows, which was funded directly by the Nouns, which was supposed to be their like version of Verbs kind of. But if you look at the Flows, they went really hardcore on the tech. So there's tons of stuff there, like as far as like how they're recording things. And then like you're using like, okay, my real love of the hot dog contest was that we were using it to like see if the AI can recognize people eating hot dogs on the blockchain. So in the background, like I like the tech, right? I think like if I can eat 100 hot dogs and progress the technology somehow, like, or at least like help in the background being a dumbass, like eating hot dogs, like then I'm going to do that. Right. So like, that's the thing I see,
So just in case there's people watching who aren't familiar with the words we're thrown around, like flows, nouns, and verbs, essentially it's like, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but there's like a pocket of the internet here that's really trying to build like things for good, and nouns and verbs. And I don't know much about flows, but I think it's also another Rocket Man project, who's like a guy, the developer behind verbs. These are essentially like communities of people who've come together online, found other like-minded people, and they have the same interests, and usually it's towards doing something good in a community, and they find ways to fund that. And that could be like on a micro scale or a macro scale. And so it's really cool to see you kind of, getting connected with that community, picking up trash, and then turning it into something positive, like and displaying it on chain for everyone to see. I love that. So you also threw out the word Farcaster. We are going there for just a second. This might like be the part of the video where like folks who aren't so into this type of stuff maybe drop off. So I just want to say, if you're one of those people and you're watching right now, hang on, because you might actually find out something that will make you like somebody like invigorated to go do something in your community. So stick around for this. But Farcaster is a social network. It's a protocol, really. So if you think about it, like, at any moment your Twitter account could get suspended, or your Facebook friends really aren't your Facebook friends. Like, they could delete them, and then you're stuck with nothing. So, and we see a lot of situations where people maybe get like censored or anything like that. And Farcaster is like an open, permissionless protocol to build social networks on top of. And I'm kind of curious, like, and Logadog basically had a connection with Farcaster. You could post yourself eating a hot dog on Farcaster, and it would log that as the logged hot dog. And I saw you did that a lot. And in the video the screen share we just went through, there were some you could see like it was logged by the Logadog bot. All right. So how did you get involved in Farcaster? How did you hear about it? How'd you get into it?
So for me, it was really like random. So there's the old NFT collection. I say old, you know how old things are here. The Peaceful Groupies, which is by Jan, who's like a huge artist right now. Basically, I think we'll just call it a based artist because he does a lot of art on base chain. And so I was literally just hanging out in his Discord like normal, and one day he popped in and was like, "Hey, everyone should come over to Farcaster. We're having a lot more fun on Farcaster than we're having on Discord." So went over to Farcaster. It basically was like I think at first it started out when I got into it was a lot of like artists and art community stuff, a little bit less on the crypto end. So for me, it was almost like a Web3, almost like artsy Instagram kind of feed, where like almost everything in my feed was like some form of art, crypto art, degenerate art kind of thing. Then slowly it started like trickling in with more and more crypto stuff over the last year and change. But you got to stick around because it's fun. There's like, it's a weird niche social network because there are people like you, Mike, that are on this, that are like devs and in the space. And then there's people like me who are like weirdos kind of on the weird outside of the space somehow. And like my content is basically 99% uncrypto related, And so, and when people, I saw someone on the network comment the other day that, oh, it's so too crypto bro-ish to like, and unless you're posting that kind of content, you don't really get any reach. And, I'm not like in the top, 100 of users, but on average, I average in the top 300 of users every week, considering that I post like nothing that's going to make you money, nothing that's like alpha. I'm just posting about my goofy life and weird hobbies and trash picking up and posting little videos about that. And like, I think I get enough distribution. And I would say that for anybody who's a creator in general, you get way more interaction, way more play. So obviously slightly because there's a smaller user base because it's a newer platform, but like you don't get lost so much in the algorithms, It seems that the algorithm's a little bit better, but
Totally.
I would definitely tell people that if you don't want it to be a crypto social network, it doesn't have to be at all, because you just choose what you want in your feed, and the algorithm is pretty good at. If you look at my feed, you'd think there's no crypto. Like,
cool.
Yeah.
Like I know you mentioned like people like me in the space and it's like 99% crypto. Like as somebody who's building in the space and my feed's full of crypto stuff, I hope that feed has little crypto stuff in the feed for normal people, people who just come on and they're not into that sphere.
Yeah,
they're just trying to find something new. Like I hope there's no crypto in there, and I hope we can find a way to make that feed relevant for them, and whether that's something that is of interest to them, if it's doing community service, if it's connecting them with like friends, if it's anything that like sports, whatever. I hope we find a home, or hope anyone can find a home in Farcaster, and then see all the benefits of what it means to be building on a permissionless system. And so like Logadog is part of that. Like I want my friends have used Logadog. It's the only blockchain app I've ever built where they're like, when's that coming back? And so we are bringing it back. We're bringing it back for this summer. It's May 12th today on the time of this recording. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it done by Memorial Day. I'm going to try, but my wife and I have a vacation coming up next week, and she'll murder me if I'm on my laptop. So probably won't be able to get it done for that, but maybe like we could do like a July 4th kickoff or something. But it is coming back. It's going to be coming back better, and I want to find ways to make it a positive sum thing in terms of letting contestants earn from it. And so we'll figure that out. But I definitely don't want to put it too front and center. I don't want to scare people off by putting like money in the app, but I do want to be able to kind of surprise and delight people with like maybe micro payments if they've logged a hot dog that week or something. I'm gonna give it to you for one last question before I hand it off to you to give some advice to the contestants of Log a Dog Season 2. I just want to throw out something and tell anybody thinking about playing, do not be intimidated by last season's chart. All right. Cool Beans is a professional at this. You could tell he's got something to play for. He's got inspiration. He has weaponized ADHD. He can out eat anybody when it comes to on-chain hot dogs in the marathon form. But don't let that intimidate you. Come in and have fun. All right. So now over to you, Cool Beans. Any advice to the contestants of Log a Dog Season 2?
I would just say pace yourself. That's like the biggest thing is just don't burn yourself out on hot dogs too quickly. You know, depending on how long the season is, just do the math. Right? Like, I'll tell you what, I hit 100 dogs and I wanted to do 420 dogs just for the meme. But once I was at like 100 and I think it was like 120 something dogs, it was just like, I don't know. At some point you are, even with the ADHD, I'm hitting my limits, you know? I will say after I ate the hot dogs, I did eat like enchiladas every week for like 2 months. So I went on like a real long enchilada. Like, man, you don't even realize how long it takes to make that much enchiladas all the time. So, you know, the one thing about a hot dog is you just warm it up and then you eat it, right? Like, so thank God it's not like enchilada eating contest or something like that for sure.
Oh my God. You're giving me ideas and I don't know if I like them. Okay. So Cool Beans, thank you so much for hopping on. We're stay with me after we sign off here, but I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you. Like I said, we've never met before, and this was the first time we've interacted outside of just like writing back and forth on Farcaster. So it was awesome to meet you, and just best of luck in season 2. Oh God, he's already getting ahead of the game here.
Okay, well that doesn't count. That doesn't count. That's like the I think 6th hot dog I've eaten today. So, you know, I'm just getting warmed up here.
All right, everyone. We'll see you in season 2 of Log a Dog. TBD, but keep an eye out for it.